Welcome to your most favorite channel, Heartbeat. My name is Dr. Amrit Kejriwal. This channel is mainly meant for MBBS students, postgraduates, medical professionals, and all those who may find it a bit more easy. It is an attempt to make the complicated medical sciences more simplified and easier for understanding.
Today we learn something about electrocardiography, the QRS complex. Channel's name is Heartbeat. My name is Dr. Amrit Kejriwal. Coming to the very basics, it is a composite of three waves, the Q wave, R wave and the S wave. It is a major deflection on an ECG and it represents the depolarization of the left and right ventricles. After the P wave, next downward deflection is called the Q wave. After the Q wave, upward deflection is the R wave. After the P wave, downward deflection may be absent, then the positive deflection is R wave. So, an R wave may or may not be preceded by a Q wave. Negative deflection after R wave is called an S wave. Nomenclature may vary using small and capital letters to denote the prominent wave. So, in this ECG, the strips showing the various nomenclatures. Over here we've got a small q, big R and a small s. In the next there is only R, there is no q and no s, and it is a capital R. Over here R is very big and s is very small, so this is a capital R and a small s. Here both are almost equal, so capital R and capital S. Here R wave is very small and S wave is larger, so it is a small r, capital S. In this wave there is no Q wave, there is no S wave, and the R wave is bifid, so it is called RR dash pattern. In this we've got two R waves, one small, one big, and in between this is wave which is downward deflection, which is S wave and it is small, so it is called RS capital R dash. We've got two small R waves, in between is a big S wave, so this is called RSR dash pattern. In the next we've got a QS wave. There is no wave going in the positive direction, so it is a QS wave. And we've got a Q wave which is followed by a small R wave, so the Q wave, capital Q and a small R wave. These are the different nomenclatures of the QRS complexes. Now coming to the origin of the QRS complex. Activation of the ventricle begins in the lower subendocardial region, third part of the interventricular septum. So you can see this small arrow. The depolarization begins over here at the interventricular septum in the lower left subendocardial region of the interventricular septum. It spreads from left to right and it is opposed by a small activation from right to left. So this wave left to right is more prominent than the wave right to left. After this, the impulse conducted to the free walls of the ventricle are activated, and it occurs transversely from inside to outside, from the subendocardial region to subepicardial region. So from the subendocardial region, the impulse goes to the subepicardial region, and this is how the cardiac impulse is transmitted from within outside. Now coming to the QRS complex. ECG reflects the summation of the different electrical activities occurring at that particular moment, and it depicts the net electrical activity in that direction. So we've got a heart over here. We've already kept a V1, V6, two ECG strips, one representing the V6 and left sided leads and one representing the right sided leads. So let us see what happens when the electrical impulse is conducted. So this is vector number 1. On a left sided lead, what will it be? It creates a negative wave. This is negative in lead V6, and it's seen on ECG as a small Q wave. So left sided leads V6, AVL and lead 1 show a septal vector oriented away from the positive pole. Now this is vector number 2 over here, and you can see this bigger and thicker. And how is it seen on a left sided lead? As a positive deflection. This same 2 over here shows a positive deflection, and this is called a R wave. So a negative wave is followed by positive deflection resultant due to left ventricular wall depolarization. On the right sided leads that is oriented to the right ventricle will show a positive wave followed by a deep negative wave. So this vector 1 shows a positive wave and is a small r, and this vector number 2, which is in this direction towards the left, shows a negative, and this is noted by a capital S. Between V1, V2 and V6 is a transition zone which may show a QS complex, RS complex or a QR complex, and these are not generally very significant. Coming to the QRS complex, AVR is in the opposite direction to the electrical impulse in all waves in AVR are negative. All waves in AVR are negative. Septal vector in right oriented leads is more than the left oriented leads. That is, R wave in V1 is more than Q wave in lead V5 to V6 for the same electrical activity. Coming to the Q wave. Q waves in lead 1, V2, V3 are to be considered as abnormal, and if Q waves are absent in V5 or V6, Q waves absent in V5 or V6, it is to be considered as abnormal. Q waves are normal in lead 3 and AVR. R wave. R wave generally increases in amplitude from lead V1 to V4 or V5. RV enlargement produces larger R waves in V1 and V2. Left ventricular enlargement produces larger R waves in V5 and V6. Loss of R wave progression may be seen in loss of left ventricular mass, as in myocardial infarction. S waves are generally larger in V2 than in V1, then progressively smaller from V3 to V6. So normally S wave is largest in V2. Duration of the QRS complex is from 0.07 seconds to 0.11 seconds, that is 2 to 3 small squares. Begins from the first appearing Q wave to the end of last appearing R, R dash, S or S dash wave. We must remember the Q wave may be isoelectric, so it will not be seen on the ECG. So it is correctly seen on lead 1 and it depicts the QRS duration. Amplitude. Amplitude increases till the age of 30 years approximately, and then decreases gradually. Larger amplitude is seen in males. Lower amplitude, that is less than 0.5 millivolts in limb leads or less than 1 millivolts in precordial leads. This may be seen in various conditions such as thick chest wall, emphysema, hypothyroidism, etc. Increased amplitude, that is higher amplitudes, may be associated with youth, physical fitness, slender body shapes, intraventricular conduction defects and ventricular enlargement. The QRS axis is estimated by seeing the QRS amplitude in different leads. I will not be discussing the determination of the axis in this video, but I will be putting up a video subsequently to how to determine the axis of the QRS wave and the other waves.